How to draw a superhero city. Our first step is to write our name and our teacher's name on the back of our paper. And introducing to you Miss Cassin's eyelashes. Flip it like a pancake. Watcha. Here's all the stuff we'll need. 2 large pieces of paper. I'm using blue and black. White paper, scissors, glue, crayons, or oil pastels. You also might want colored pencils or markers if you would like to color in your superheroes later. Our first step is to use our black paper to draw some buildings. Now on camera, I am using an oil pastel, which is white, so you can see it, but you guys can most definitely use a pencil. I'm making kind of a skyscraper building, which has steps up, down, down, side, and then all the way over, and then a vertical line straight down. If you would like your buildings to look a little different, that's totally fine too. It's your city. Do with it what you will. Now I have some extra space on the right side of my black paper, so I'm going to make one more building, one big rectangle, and a horizontal line across. We're going to use our handy dandy scissors and we're going to cut out our buildings. Again, you could have a bunch of buildings. They could look different than mine, and that's great too. Awesome. Now we're using glue and we're going to glue this onto our big blue paper. If you have a different color, that's great too. Substitutions are fine. Now we're going to give our paper a nice massage. Ooh, that feels so nice. Thank you. I'm sure buildings hardly ever get massages. More glue for our more glue, more buildings. And then we're going to go ahead and put that right onto our paper. Second appearance of Miss Cassin's eyelashes. Now I'm doing a subtle sky, so I'm using a bit of crayon, a bit of oil pastel. You could also use colored pencil or markers. And I'm varying my blues a little bit. So I have a dark blue and I have a light blue. So I want it to look kind of like there's dimension. And I'm adding a little bit of pink and purple down there at the bottom. Maybe you'd like to have some explosions in the sky. Maybe there's an epic battle happening up there. I'm drawing a crescent moon with my white oil pastel. And I'm making lots of little dots for stars all around me. Maybe you'd like to put in some constellations. That would be awesome. A little dipper, a big dipper. Maybe you want an alien ship or a mothership from the superhero that you are going to be creating later. Maybe you'd like some shooting stars, some rockets, whatever you'd like, some cool planets. Now I'm using white and orange crayons to make the illusion that my buildings are glowing by drawing lots of little lines for the windows. And I'm naming my buildings Gotham. I'm adding some cool designs around the outside. And then here comes the fun part. So that part is building our superhero. So let's all get our dry erase markers or a sketch pad. If you'd like to pause the video, you can do that now. And we're going to practice some poses. So you may have remembered in past videos where we've talked about poses and how we break them down. This is a mannequin pose. So we're just drawing basic shapes. So a line that comes down for the chest. And then across, and down again. So this is just our practice pose. We'll work on some more poses as we get better. A circle for the shoulder, an oval shape for the side of the arm, a circle for the elbow, an oval for the forearm, and kind of a triangle shape for the hand. Now I'm going to make a circle for the stomach. And then this is going to be the hip. So the hip area is kind of a boxy shape. A circle for the hip bone. An oval shape for the top of the leg. Another oval shape for the calf muscle. And an oval for the foot. Now let's do the other leg. So it's kind of behind the hip. So it's an oval shape for the other part of the top of that thigh, a circle for the knee, an oval shape for the calf, and another oval shape for the foot. Now I'm kind of doing a superhero pose. So I want arms in the air, so I'm doing a circle for the upper arm, a circle for the elbow, and for the forearm, and a triangular shape for the hand. So that's our practice. If you want to rewind the video, you can replay it again. Practice a little bit more on paper if you'd like. We're going to move on to the second pose. This is a really common superhero stance with the hands on the hips, so I wanted us to practice that as well. So a circle for the head, circle for the neck, this will be the chest, and our superhero's got a really big oversized chest, so I'm going to make it a little bit larger than life size. So it's a big kind of triangular shape with a straight bottom. A circle for the stomach, and then a box shape for the hip. And then we're going to work on those really big biceps. So a circle for the shoulder, oval for the upper arm, circle for the elbow, an oval shape for the forearm, and then a triangular shape for the hand. And then we're going to repeat that step on the other side. Circle for the elbow, oval for the forearm, and a triangular shape for the hand. An oval shape for the upper thigh. Same thing on the other side. A circle for the knees. An oval for the calf muscle. Another oval on the other side. And what I like to call flipper feet. So they kind of look like flippers. So they come out, they're flat on the bottom, straight line, flat, and then up. Now let's say we've gotten our poses that we really, really like, and we want to move on to the second step. So we're going to take a piece of copy paper. You're going to put it over top of your drawing that you've just sketched out. And now we're going to start adding details. So everyone will have a superhero features handout at their table, and you can use those to decide whether you'd like different eyes, different mouths, different hair. And you're going to create your superhero however you'd like. So maybe you'd like to create a name for your superhero, certain accessories that you'd like them to have, capes, tights, buckles. Maybe you'd like to have certain types of weapons that they have to combat evil or diabolical plans. All of those things that you're going to develop for your superhero as you're doing this part. So as you can see, I can sort of see through my paper, and I'm just tracing over it. And this would be how I would do the kind of typical male superhero that has the tights with the cape and the cool boots. You can also use a window if you have a hard time seeing through your paper. You can hold up both of your papers on the window and you can see through it. It's kind of like a light box. It's pretty cool. Let's say you wanted to use a different pose, you would do the same technique again. So I'm putting my paper underneath the other paper. I'm adding features like eyes, nose, and mouth, and hair. We don't want to, well, maybe you do want a bald superhero. Lex Luthor was kind of cool. And you're going to start adding the details on your drawing. So we're going to draw over top of our pose so that we can get a sense of where the body is going to go. And this is going to be where you'll really shine and add all of the details that you feel like your superhero should have. Now the fun part. You're going to color in your superhero. You can use markers, crayons, color pencils. I don't advise using paint because that might be a little tricky to get in those tiny spaces. You can add shading if you want to, which is where it is darker on one side and lighter on the other. Then you're going to cut your superhero out. I like to do big shapes first, so notice I cut out a big, huge circle first, and then I went in and started cutting out the details. Once you've created all the different superheroes you'd like, you're going to glue them into their spots onto the paper. Maybe you'd like to create multiple superheroes, and that's totally fine. You could have a battle going on between two, both good and evil. You could have some tiny that are far away in the distance, and then some that are bigger so that they look like they appear closer. Give them a nice little massage. They work out a lot. Maybe you'd like to add some action lines with your white oil pastel so it looks like they're in motion. As always, artwork goes on the drying rack. Nice work, friends.